Week 3 Warrior has been added to Fortnite. We can get the Ice Queen, and I decided to buy the Ice King so that the Ice King could go in there and rescue the Ice Queen, or at least trying. So that's what this video is going to be about. So hello guys, and welcome to another one of my Fortnite videos, and a huge thanks to the 51 supporters in the Epic Games setup. So thank you guys very much for this. This here is how the Ice King looks, and well, I bought him, leveled him up all the way to level 50, power level 130. It is a constructor, it is a hotfixer, which means that you get a lot of resources from his base, and that's a pretty cool thing. It's actually pretty nice for a game mode such as Frostnite. I already have one, but I decided to level this one up because right now he is a hotfixer constructor, but when we get the new hero system, we are going to be getting unique options for him. The new wave holiday is the mission that we're going to be playing, or I played, and I just wanted to share a few tips and tricks like about what you can do in there, how we did it anyway. I always start by recycling everything that I have, because you start out with junk things and you can actually use the things you have to make something that is better. So I'm recycling whatever kind of junk stuff I have and I turn it into useful things. And if you're playing with some really cool peeps like I was, they're going to be giving you materials. They're probably going to be dumping their stuff to you, at least if you are the constructor, so that you can make even more like cool, fun, and amazing things that's just going to be helping out everybody. Fiber, nuts and bolts, planks, duct tape, all that kind of crazy stuff. Bacon, that's the stuff you want. Oxidized powder. You can, like, I can start out by making 4 of these floor launchers, a gas trap, and usually I can also make some of the small spike traps for the walls, and that is a pretty good setup because it's just going to allow you to get the base up and running with like the most basic things that you can add to later on in the game. So recycle whatever you have and whatever people are giving you, because this is not a game mode about you using your weapons. It is a game mode about the traps doing their job. So make sure whoever like has good traps is gonna be getting all the resources, because yay, that's my points on it anyway. So I always check out everything, because as you can see here, bacon, and bacon is the good. Putting down things, we kind of just wanted to get the Ice Queen, at least that was what I wanted, but I was like ready for whatever. But get the base tiles up and running, put your base down. I like using iron or metal for the base to start with, because there is no real use for traps in the first and sometimes even second wave. You can pretty much use your hover turrets. So they're going to be bashing a little bit on them. When you get later into the game, they're going to like get ganked no matter what you build. So a lot of people just use wood or even like stone. This here is my like preferred way of starting out when I'm playing the different Frostnite missions whenever possible. Get a base up and running, make sure that you can add in blue glow from all directions, put in something so that if things hit the walls, they're going to have damage reflected back to them, and you can have these spike traps on them while you have the window, and then people can't close the window, so it's like win-win. So with that up and running, it's pretty much just about checking where is the attack going to be coming from, and if you note this area here, close it off because it's going to prevent husks from attacking you from down there, climbing up to the hill and jumping down. So just by making a few walls and slants, you can pretty much secure this area and make sure that the husks are going to select a different route towards the burner, and that's a cool thing. The majority of the Frostnite games for me is about making lobber roofs, because lobbers are like the early game killers in my opinion. But if you can build walls, slants, whatever over the spawns a few tiles away from it, you're gonna make sure that that isn't gonna be a problem. And lobbers don't really appear early in the game, but it's nice to be prepared. The first wave that we have was Husklings, so you know, the small little ones. Defeat 70 of those, very, very easy. But you are getting different types of husks. These are not the only husks that you're going to be getting, but because in general the first wave of Frostnite, no matter what mode it is super easy. So you can actually drag out time here if you want, and just farm even more. If you want materials for some of the harder maps, then you can like really drag out time, because you're not going to be getting super challenging husks. So that is food for thought if you are struggling a little bit with the mission and you don't want to be choosing it by playing at a lower difficulty, this is the power level 128 one, then you can drag out time in these waves to really just get a lot more farming done, because you have loads of time to take out these easy peasy ones at the start, I feel. So anyway, so let me guys know what you feel about that. Demonstrated a few of the hero's abilities here as well. I'm going to be showing you guys them later. He has the bull rush and he has the plasma pulse, where he drops these small plasma balls that generate some damage. So those are like the things you can use him for, in addition to getting materials out of the base. And because he has one of these like really cool bases, you can get probably more resources out of him than most other constructor types. I believe he has hyper threading, so that is like double up on the goodies. Wave 2 is pitchers, and as you can see here, I spent wave 2 making even more lobber roofs, because nothing's gonna tear down your base like lobbers. And in general, I mean, do not fill that burner with blue glow. You need to leave it down to 30-25%, and they're gonna be sending a supply drop down with more blue glow. It's gonna keep you fed for a very long time, so that you can save up on the blue glow that you are gathering in the missions. It is super important so you don't run out later, because you're going to be having late games where the Krampus stop dropping this blue glow, and then it's nice to have it saved up. I like building multiple layers of towers on top of the burner, just to, again, lobber secure it, and so that I have something I can scoop up on when I later need to avoid the takers, because the takers are like game enders for a lot of these games, especially in the crazy new mode that I'm also fooling around with, the power level 128 challenge. Have never been past an hour yet, but it's gonna happen. But anyway, pitchers, pretty easy stuff, low health, no advanced husks in the wave, so whatever kind of trap setup you have going, and the hoverbots can pretty much deal with it. The way I enjoy these games the most is when I drop materials for the builder. Or the builder, if it's me, like here, people drop materials for me, because it gives me the freedom to plan the base the way I want it to, and make the traps that I want to with the perks that I want to. And I was pretty like super lucky to play in this game with people that dropped materials for me. It just made it very, very easy to have a plan in my mind about how I wanted to do things, especially because this was the first week where I was playing, the first time I was playing the week 3 warrior. So it was nice to be able to just mind babble a little bit about it. Covering again the spawn for takers and for early damage over time from the gas ceiling traps, so that husks are going to take damage before they come to the base, because they're going to have super high health later on in the game. Shielders this time around also super easy. These are the small crazy kind of floating things that shield others. Also very, very easy wave. You actually don't need to take out the husks they are on, but you need to take out the shielders. So this was also a pretty automated thing. The traps we had, the spawn like security we have out and running, meant that we could pretty much just farm even more resources for later missions, create a few weapons, create more traps, create lobber roofs and areas for future waves, even though we didn't know what we were going to be seeing. But hopefully you guys are going to be able to like take the information from this video to prepare your bases just a little bit towards the things that are going to be coming. I always check out the bacon farm, but it had been ripped already and given to me, so that was pretty cool. But like, you have so much time if you are in a group that is working in these game modes that it's very, very casual, whereas if you have these, everybody wants to have 5 different weapons and be the king, and you know, I'm the king, you know, I'm playing the king, so you guys know what I mean. It's a super casual, enjoyable game mode if you're playing with a good team, and if you're playing with a crap team, then it's super stressful, because you need to think and harvest for multiple people at one time. But this year was really, really cool. Gunslingers as wave 4. Also, all in all, a pretty easy wave, because gunslingers are weak. They're pretty easy to take out, so hover turrets can take them out. We're still only on wave 4, so they are not that strong. Traps, eat them, nothing really challenging. We don't have these insane, crazy things coming towards us, so it was very, very doable to just, once again, we have lobbers now, as you can see, and even though I've been building lobber roofs and lobber roofs and lobber roofs, I didn't really manage to protect that well against it. Here you saw the abilities of the hero once again, the bull rush and the dropping of crazy plasma grenade kind of things. Bull rush again here, and there we have it, the plasma dropping these balls out that explode and generate some damage. And as you can see, the abilities of this hero deal little to no damage compared to this power level 162 lobber. It's a weak opponent, but still, the ability is not how I'm going to be dealing my damage. The weapons are also not how I'm going to be dealing my damage. I have to say the bundle bus is amazing in here, but besides that, weapons are all else equal, pretty junk. Traps are like the things that you want, especially things that can knock things backward and drag out time for you. But in here, you actually need to take them out, so damage is more important than impact, whereas in the normal challenge, I feel that impact is super important just for dragging out time. Once again here, new wave, Riot Huskies, so these are the ones carrying the Riot shields, and they can be pretty challenging. If you have, like we have, gas traps with affliction damage, you can lure them in under them. They are pretty slow moving husks, so you can just like walk around and have them chase you in under the damage to get a bit of dose of the gas, take affliction damage as you walk away from them. And they're going to be dropping like flies, but you're going to be having some degree of lobbers, and if you haven't like fully prepared for lobbers, then it can demolish your base completely. And the huskies are pretty nasty against walls, so you want them to drop before they get towards your burner. So anyway, that was also a pretty easy wave, all things taken into consideration, but I mean, I had an amazing group to play with, so that is of course the main reason why things went as smooth as they did. The huskies took a lot longer for us to take out than the other waves. I'm not entirely sure why. I think there were just fewer of them mixed in with the spawns, but it was very doable, but it took a little bit longer. So with that done, it is time for wave 6, and this is the wave you need to win in order to get the Ice Queen. And can you guess what it's gonna be? I don't know if you guys have seen videos about this already or it has been spoiled, but if not, it's a taker wave. Oh yes, it is. And I mean, if you have played the normal mode, you know that the taker wave is where the majority of all players die, because they one-shot you. They one-shot me, they one-shot everybody, even like constructors with a bit of an extra layer on them and a lot of shielding. They're just unreal. And you need to take out 15 of them, at least here in the power level 128 mode. And what happened? Well, they did what takers do. They took. That is exactly what they did, greedy bastards. Takers, this is not meant as I am the king, you know, besides the Ice King, but takers can be managed pretty easily. I die to them every once in a while, like perhaps 25% of the game, so it's not like I'm the taker master, but takers can be managed very easily with a hoverboard. And if you have like your own little arena that you can maneuver around in, you can like get away from the takers very, very easily. You can also build walls where they stop up and need to like make their portal in between. So if you swoop in between traps, they're going to be chasing you, they're going to be taking damage from the traps, and the traps are the things dealing a lot of damage. So that is really how I recommend you do it, and it is extra important in this game mode because we don't have a timer any longer. You need to take out the takers. You cannot just wait out the time like you can in the other game mode, and when the timer is done, you move on to the next wave. You need to take out these 15 takers. So the key is staying alive, number one. There are other husks, as you can see, especially the blasters are like killers, number two, because whenever you step up to try to fill fuel into the burner, and you need to do that in order to survive as well. So when you step up to fill in there, you are likely to be ganked by a blaster or a taker. So those are the things you really need to keep an eye on. And as you can see here, these husks are hitting the walls while I'm being blasted, and I have this damage reflection trap on it. That helps. It really, really helps. It is a really good thing to have that, because it is going to clear out some of the weak husks that would otherwise just go directly into the burner. So manage your hoverboard. Note where you have blue glow on the ground if your opponents kind of ate some of your teammates and they dropped the blue glow. Note where it is. As you can see, I don't have any resources, which is a bad thing because I would have liked to make a few additional movement options. but moving around with the hoverboard, noting the sounds you can hear when there is a taker closing in on you, and just like use that sound to your advantage. Do I need to be on a hoverboard in a few seconds, or can I turn around and shoot whatever kind of weapon I picked up? As you may have seen, I haven't crafted any weapons for myself. I made a Founder's Revolt for a teammate, but besides that, I've just been using whatever kind of weapons we have had so far in the game, and that kind of allowed me to, make it this far in the game. Filling in the burner, we have the next wave started. This is what you need to do in order to get the Ice Queen, or at least one of the ways you can do it. Teammates revive, obviously, after a completed wave, just as before. So this is where you can call it a win, call it a day, whatever, if all you want is to have the Ice Queen. And after a little bit of talking, that was what we agreed on as well, that instead of going all like try hard mode, we kind of all just wanted to have the new hero, have this achievement completed of having bashed this week's challenge like 40 minutes, no, it's like an hour after it was released. So that was pretty cool. So we decided to just wait it out like heroes do, because and this was pretty cool. Wave 7 is bombshell lobbers. So these are the things I've been protecting against since wave 1. And guess what happened when we were up against bombshell lobbers and we just wanted to lose the game? The lobbers couldn't take us out. No blue glow put into the burner. Well, I did actually when the other wave ended, but we're not gonna be taking any damage. We're just gonna be burning the blue glow in the burner, dancing around, just chillaxing, and the lobbers kind of just died. So that was pretty cool. Like wave 6, crazy hard because of the takers. It's gonna be a massive challenge for a lot of players. Wave 7 was just auto win. And the next wave, actually, I kind of would have liked to play it because it's pretty crazy. And I'm definitely going to go in here again just to play this next wave, because if there is one thing I actually wanted to try to play against in the game, then it is a wave of smashers. We only had to take out 8, but we also have the mini boss. So like pretty crazy game. Very enjoyable game mode, much more enjoyable than the previous ones, I feel. I played a lot of Burn Bright because a lot of people wanted help in there. I kind of burned out on Burn Bright already when I completed it. It wasn't that cool for me. This is much more enjoyable. I thought it was really fun, really amazing. I love that you need to target these specific opponents, and if you are less overpowered for the mission, it is going to make it meaningful to play a soldier as well, because you can snipe out the specific targets to clear the waves faster if you want to progress. And that is something we have really missed in the game, I feel, a role for a soldier. So anyway guys, that was what I had to share in this video. Some gameplay with the new Ice King, how I got the Ice Queen, how I completed this week's challenge, and in the next video we're going to be looking into her absolutely. As always guys, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to stay tuned for more content.